Hi, Dr. Radillo. Welcome to Vet Inspo Talks. I'm excited to have you, a first generation bilingual Mexican American veterinarian, with us on the show today, where we'll dive into advocating for the future generation of veterinarians, preparing for vet school, and then life after vet school. So, welcome.
Thanks, Orly. I'm super excited to be here. This is one of my favorite topics, so I'm so glad that I could be able to provide some assistance anywhere I can.
Yeah, do you mind introducing yourself to us?
So yes, so my name is Dr. Jovanna Radillo. I am a first generation Mexican American from inner city LA. I am bilingual. On some good days, I'm trilingual. And I say that I learned French in high school, so it's helpful. It definitely is helpful, and I still remember a lot of it. So the cool part about me is that for like many of you, my journey is not very different than many of you because a lot of things were facing the same. Like I was a baby of the family. I didn't, my siblings really didn't go. They were definitely older than me and they didn't go to, like no one had gone to a 4-year university like I did and or gotten my professional degree or master's. So having that guidance, they tried their best. And I'm so thankful for everything my family did to share with me what they could. And then for me, that was my journey to continue on, right, and learn. I did go to Davis's undergrad and for vet school. So don't believe when they say you can't do both. I did both. I did do my master's in between at Sac State.
Oh,
So I
nice.
graduated from undergrad in '04. I did basically zoology. They've changed the name very many times, but I think currently the degree is evolution and ecology. When I was there, it was evolution, ecology, and biodiversity, but it's zoology. And then I did do a minor in comparative literature, so that was fun. Sac State, I did my master's in public policy administration. The reason for that, I know that sounds completely 180 from vet school. It was more because I wanted to create my own nonprofit for very low to low income communities to have programs kind of like basically like Medi-Cal and Medicare, but for pets. So that was my goal. Still in the works. I have not rolled that out, but I did. The nice part is that side opened up an area of vet med that I hadn't seen before. That's a possibility because I could go in to be a veterinary lobbyist and be an advocate, especially through the AVMA, but not only for them, but through various areas of Congress and the Senate. So it's pretty awesome to know that I could do that. I did take a year off. Also, I know a lot of people are scared to do that. That's like one of the best things that I would advocate for because it definitely gave me balance and prepared me because right after that I went into Davis for vet school, which I was focused more on small animals, and that's what I graduated with. For after graduation, I definitely jumped between LA and Sacramento, but I was working with under corporate medicine with Banfield. I held every single role possible in the hospital. So I learned a lot. I mean, definitely from associate doctor to area chief of staff or chief of staff to area chief of staff, which just means I had multiple hospitals underneath me, as well as medical director working with that. I helped out a lot in that role. And then I did the fun thing in switching from just the veterinary leadership side to the operation business side. So I became a field director. But definitely I've had fun from that. Once I left Banfield, I ended up helping with a startup vet clinic.
Oh,
So I did
great.
senior vice president. So that's like how it's cool. Like you could do a lot of things in leadership. And the fun part is that now, since then, I've actually been able to have a lot of fun in growing an area of vet med that we hadn't seen very much of, or like we thought was not possible, which is telemedicine. So I've definitely been having fun connecting with clients and finding the ins and outs. I will say that because vet med in general, you still have to follow all the legality pieces of it all, but it's amazing being able to help connect with clients in that way. On the vet side, the nice part is I love being able to mentor any of their younger generations, either in like elementary, junior high school, college, but also at the vet school level. So I go back and help out a lot there at Davis. I actually came back from grading the final, so all my students did well. So and then also working with remote mentorship too. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of the journey's been amazing since I graduated. So I know that was a lot in a nutshell. My journey has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I definitely also have fun with I just adopted a new dog. So learning with this new baby, as well as my two senior cats, and balancing with life, because I love dancing, going out, to the I still do hiking. I know that was like a big thing in Davis when we get out and about. I
Right.
still
Yeah.
go out. That's one of my favorite things, to go out and go hiking, find new places to see in nature. When possible, traveling too. So lots of fun pieces, and I'd love any questions with that journey. Because I know everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you did a lot," and I was like, "Yes, but it's been a lot of fun, and I've taken my time with it all, so it's been a
Yeah,
lot."
it's worth it. You learn a lot throughout the way as well, so, why
The other
not?
Yeah, and the other piece too is amazing, is that you make network connections that you would have never thought you would have made. And that's a beautiful thing, that also, especially vet med, teaches you, because I feel like we always stick in our bubbles, like in science, especially at Davis. For undergrad, I mean, think about it. What do you do normally every day, right? You're running to and from your class, especially biology. I remember I would be
Yes.
taking 17, 18 units a quarter trying to get it done. And you know how stressful it is. It's That is life. Like, even when you get out and you're working your everyday work role, it's the same exact kind of focus, except it's your responsibility to make it fun, just like you do at Davis right now as an
Yeah.
undergrad. So,
Yeah.
yeah, lots of habits I picked up at Davis that I continue on in life. So I love any questions with any of that.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your journey and, how amazing you are right now. And you've always been amazing and you're just continuing to educate the younger generation of vets and pre-vets. So that's really great. And thank you so much for that. So let's dive into it. So when we're talking about, advocating for the future generation of veterinarians, what changes do you wish you could make in the field of veterinary medicine today?
This one, it was funny. I was thinking about this question, and the beautiful piece is, I guess, what I would say as the changes that I would want to make is a faster, I mean, I'll say it this way. There would have to be a big shift for this to happen quickly. But honestly, I feel like the biggest change I would want to see is for veterinary medicine is actually getting paid what we're worth in knowledge. And I say that because over my I've been doing vet med, at least working in hospitals, for like close to 20 years now. And the one thing that I would say is, like, I know that we've seen changes in our what we're actually paid and what benefits we receive. And I will say, I'm going to give a major shout out, a major, give a standing ovation to our younger generations, because our recent veterinary graduates have been shifting the base pay. I'll say that, especially in California, which is amazing. Because when I came out, I just accepted. I didn't know, like, you can challenge things, because it was always a no. Like, you just accepted and you stayed quiet. Now I'm seeing that change, and I love it. Like, I've seen a big shift over the past 5 years, I will say. What I wish I could do it, I wish I could just fast forward it to, where we would be, so that we actually are valued for as much
Right.
we know. Because I mean, to think the amount of knowledge we know, and the wide variety that we know, that would be like my biggest piece, because I think that would, it's not that it would be the solving like end all be all, but I do feel that that is one big piece to our normal life that would take away some of the angst that a lot of us feel. And I'll say that just because I think the AVMA just came out with new data on it. But a few years back, I was at Davis, with for a like a discussion. It was a discussion in regards to changes that the AVMA has seen in
Oh,
regards to what worries veterinarians coming out, right? And of course, there's
right.
this big discourse between, well, veterinarians that have been out practicing in their career for quite many years, like 20 plus years, versus more recent graduates. And in this, well, the AVMA study, it ended up showing about how it focused on the well-being aspect of the high levels of depression and anxiety. Like, why is that there, right? And it talked about the pressures. Like, when they surveyed all the new vets, a lot of the results that they got was it was anxiety, of just in general being able to balance the requirements of life, that overhanging feeling of dread that you'd have to pay for your student loans because we're so much in
Right.
debt, we can't do our normal
Yeah.
everyday. um Buying a house, having a family that has to be prolonged because you're trying to balance everything. And then as well as just different requirements or asks of the clients of what they expect of you, and society in general, what they want from their veterinarians, right? And it was so interesting seeing the more experienced generation saying, well, why are you worried because we didn't come out? It's a different time. Like, I ended up sharing my side and like knowing that I came out. This is just in general that everyone should know. And I wish people would share this more often. For most students, yes, they will come out with debt. And yes, that debt is 250 plus, when you come out, maybe 200,000. So
Right.
being a new grad, starting a new life with that much debt, especially with the increasing interest rates that keep happening, it's scary. Previous, like more experienced vets, they didn't have the high cost of school, they may not have had those high costs, so they don't have to deal with that. It's a different time. And it's just so interesting to see the differences. And I feel like our this is where I applaud our younger generation because they have been able to stand up. I will say, like, I even gained confidence from them to say, like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh,
I've had
wow.
so many
Yeah.
people are like, what? I'm like, no, I'm going to walk away from something that does not serve me. And that's fine because I've seen the opposite side. I've had a nervous breakdown. I've had the suicidal like attempt. Like, I've gone through that. I don't ever want to see myself there. And I know by stepping up and saying no to for myself, that's a big piece that takes a weight off my shoulder. And it's a good thing. Like, no is a sentence, right? So this is all piece of like vet med that I wish, like, being able to be paid appropriately, I feel be a big chunk. I know it's not going to solve everything, but it's a big chunk, especially with us learning how to say no, we're not going to do that, or yes, we will do something.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like that's a big piece of vet med. Both of like people, like going into vet med not knowing what's come out. I still say do it. Don't make that stop you at all. There are ways. Like, my favorite quote of telling myself was like, you know what, my future self is very proud of me, and she would want my current self to do this part because future self will be able to pay for it.
There
Don't use
you
that for
go.
everything else.
Yeah.
Just use that for vet school. Okay. Just like, don't do that for credit card debt, but like for vet school. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think some great advice, and it was really impactful how you mentioned that, your students are also teaching you a lot of things even today. They're teaching you how to say no, they're teaching you a lot of information that, you wish you had in the past. So, and that you're trying to implement right now, and that's really beautiful. So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that. Yeah.
I think it's overlooked, and we have to put more plus. I mean, I see that a lot, especially for first gen students as well. And, like, I've even kind of like rolling in to like how to prepare for vet school too. It's like, and in any professional school, is that for a lot of first gen or early, career vets, one thing to realize is that your parents didn't get you this far for you to stop. Like, it is your responsibility to keep going. What you decide of like you where you want to go, like, I have some people that are like, I only want to stay close by, and that's fine. Like, for me, my goal was to stay in California so I could be closer to my aging parents. Like, that was just my thing. There are some people that are like, I'm gonna go all the way to England,
Yeah.
and that's okay. Like, choose what is best for you, but remember that you have a big role to play. Like, you have you're being set up by success by everyone before you, and your job is to keep going, and I think that is something that we need to celebrate, we need to see, and not and know it is scary, but know that you have so many people behind you that are going to be like, yes, you need to do this. Like,
Support. Yeah, they're supporting you full on. Yeah.
mhm. So fun little extra that I'll add in.
Yeah, that's really, really great. Thank you for sharing that again. That's and it encourages everybody else, who is going through this. There are a first generation. They're lost or confused. So I think this advice would definitely help them, stand out, be themselves, and just keep going for it and, you know, go over the hurdles, like I always tell everyone. Yeah.
It's so true. Especially for everyone. I mean, if you think about it, like I still remember when I went to Davis. Okay, funny just side piece. When I went to like little anecdote. When I went to Davis, it was a cow town still. Like it was in '99.
It's yeah,
Remember?
still like this.
Well, here's the funny part. So coming from LA, right? I'm used to big bustling cities. And mind you, I was very sheltered in LA, so I didn't get to see that much. But when I went to Davis, I remember this is fall of '99, okay? Like I remember riding my bike and going like, oh, I'm gonna look because everyone's like, just, I was living at the dorms and everyone's like, go explore. And I was like, okay. I remember the first time someone at Davis like told me good morning, I almost fell off my bike. I was like, why are you talking to me? Right. So it was like so like out there. And then like to consider like I couldn't, well, I didn't have a car. So like I didn't learn how to drive till I was 23. So I didn't have a car for
Oh,
life, but I had to ride the bus everywhere. We didn't have Trader Joe's. We didn't have any big like the things that you have, like our city ended at Mace Boulevard. That was where the
oh my
city
gosh.
they did not, it did not
Yeah.
go farther. It was like farmland, like or just acres of land, right? And if we wanted to go to we didn't have Target. So if we wanted to go to Target, you had to go to Sacramento. And on the bus,
Far.
that's an hour of a
Yep.
bus drive both
Yep.
ways. And if you wanted Walmart, that's Woodland, but that's another bus drive, 30 minutes each way. And so I look at it now and I'm like, it just like it's expanded so much and it's a great beautiful change, but like just thinking then I knew so many people that shied away from the potential they had because they said it was too far away and it was too quiet and it wasn't like the home. And I was like, no, I understand that. Totally 100% understand that. And everyone, again, everyone has to do their journey where they're at. But remember that this is your opportunity to make a new home and learn something new about yourself, about the environment you're in, the town, everything. So it's just like take like keep going like these are opportunities. I just love it
Yeah.
that you all have a clean slate and you have so many opportunities that you can work through and enjoy while you're at Davis. Because even undergrad, there's so many connections that you can make on campus. The biggest piece is you just have to ask. And you may not know
That's true.
what that is.
Yeah.
You may not know. And that could just be asking a professor, just go talk to them. Maybe go like spend up an office hour, go talk to them. And you never know what conversation comes up that you'll be able to connect it to someone else, to someone else, to someone else, to someone else. And then all of a sudden you have your dream, summer internship that you didn't know could happen just because you asked, like, hey, tell me about you, I know that's a little sidetracked, but that's something that I want to make sure everyone knows because especially like it's just I'm thinking of like all the opportunities you all have that you can like really, really take advantage of right now at the school.
Yeah, that was literally my next question. I was like, "Oh, what would you tell, a pre-vet student or vet student that they're entering this new chapter in their life? What advice, since you have so many, what's the number one advice you would give someone who is entering this pre-vet or vet stage?"
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, take the chance, go put yourself in environments. I know it's uncomfortable and do it to your level because I know everyone, like, some days I'm an introvert, some days I'm an extrovert, some days I want to talk to people, some days I don't. Use that to your advantage. Whatever you're feeling like, go talk to people. And I know it feels weird, it does get better and easier as you go along. But take a look and take the opportunity as well. If there is a cool program that you see an ad for that's like at a completely different school, do it. I have friends that I've met because I didn't do the opposite, but they came to our school and I got to meet and like I have friends across the world now because they came and they were taking advantage of their opportunity and I house them. So I was like, so I got to go to know them, their culture. They shared a little bit more about their journey. And then the cool part is we're all colleagues now together. And it's like,
Oh,
I
that's
love seeing
nice.
them across the world. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And it just makes the world seem so much smaller, even though it's like so scary when you're out there. And no matter what, like, don't be scared of taking your time. I feel like that's the biggest piece. Even when I was in undergrad, there was that all that pressure of like, oh my gosh, you have to do biology in 4, you have to do that,
Right.
and you have to be perfect because you have to get into vet school. And I will say yes to an extent. Okay. Yes, please get good grades. Please get into your vet school. I know it's getting harder to get into vet schools. Um, it is. It's definitely a hard process. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and not everyone's doing it. But one big piece is take that opportunity, learn what you can. Yes, dedicate yourself to school, but don't drown yourself in school. That's the same thing with vet school and undergrad. Find your balance, find your hobbies, find things that fill your cup, because you will learn quickly that if you keep going and going and going and only focus on science, you're going to miss out on a lot. And I will say, like, for me, that's what I focused my first 4 years, because in my head, I was like, I need to get into vet school. I need to get into vet school. So I could have graduated in 4 years. I decided to do a fifth, and that's how I got the comparative literature minor.
Oh yeah.
Um, because I realized, like, hey, these are my 4 years of, like, you're the chance you get to grow up and have fun and party and do whatever you want, because you're an adult but you're not an adult kind of thing.
Yeah.
You don't have like the responsibility of a mortgage,
Right.
whatnot,
Right.
and car payment and whatnot, so enjoy this time, like actually take the year off if you can, but make a plan, like honestly make the plan ahead of time. That seems scary, and if it does, I mean, like, you can reach out to me, any mentor above you will help you plan that out. um and yeah, because I remember I was always so like, I need to be a perfectionist. I need to be a perfectionist. I need to get into vet school. And yes, veterinarians, we're all type, a lot of us are type A's. There's very few type B's. We're all type A's.
Everyone says that. Yeah. All my
Yeah.
previous speakers are like, even medical doctors as well. Like we're all type A performers. We all want to do well. We all want to go to the next level.
Mhm.
But there has to be a line that we have to draw. Cause if not,
Because it's true.
yeah.
You end up in like where I was. Like when I ended up, I'm like, I'm very open with it, because I want to make sure people know, like, there are we do suffer from that, but you learn ways of coping with that piece, healthy ways of coping. Because I did end up in the nervous breakdown. Like, I think I was 36, 35, 36 when I did have my nervous breakdown. And I was 36 going on 37, I believe. And it was because of that pressure, because not only did I feel like I had to be a perfect doctor, I had to be a perfect leader in the hospital. I was trying to push my way upward in the corporate ladder, but at the
Yep.
same time I had a relationship at home. I had to meet that up, and then I had my family obligations, because why didn't you have a kid just yet? Like, why haven't you had children? Why haven't you, like, yes, you're in a long-term relationship, but why haven't you gotten married? Like, all those, like, together.
Yeah.
And then you get into that negative talk of, I like, and this happened, it can happen at any time. So undergrad, vet school, after. Because it happened to me in vet school, and of course it probably happened to me in college too, but I wasn't as focused. Like, I was so like, I need to get into
Yeah.
vet school, I probably just put it away. But it's
Right.
like those thought process of, like, am I good enough? Like, you are more than good enough. Like, the fact that you need to tell yourself and shut up that judge that's inside your head to say, like, you are good enough for it. Like, this is where I share with everyone, like, take the time, be patient with yourself, and take the opportunities. It's, if you make a mistake, as long as no one's dead, or any animals dead, or any bad thing, like you're not in jail or anything like that, like, make the mistake. It's okay. You could fix it. And yes, you feel like you may feel the guilt and you may feel all that. And that is something you have to work to gain your own voice and your own feeling with it, rather than like external forces. But take the chance, enjoy it. The fun is in the process. Like, honestly, the process of getting to your goal, and I put that in quotes because goal in general is not just a goal. Your goal is constantly moving. The goalpost is constantly moving in life. So don't just think like, oh my gosh, once it's here, I'm going to be happy. Like, it's honestly, enjoy the process. No matter what level you are at, enjoy the process. Have fun with it. Figure out something that makes you happy. If that's just going outside to walk your dog, then you should be doing that every day.
Right.
Whatever it is, if it's going to the gym, go do it. Like, I'm a big proponent of going to the gym to balance that out, get out your anger, get out this, boxing classes, hit, like, Muay Thai, like, whatever it is. Like, I had to do that
Whatever helps.
for
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Find what's good for you. don't worry about making the mistake. Don't worry about being perfect. Like maybe yes, you're undergrad to get into vet school, but if you don't get in, like same thing, if you don't get into vet school, your dream school the first time, don't worry. Take this opportunity, get stronger, whatever it is, because redirection, like rejection is just redirection to where you need to be. So don't feel bad. Like, yes, it's hard and you can have your heart set on it. And, for anyone that's tried and hasn't gone in, I'm sorry. It does really, really suck. And we're here, like we're here with you to figure out, okay, so how
Right.
do we do it better next time? Like what else is there? Is there any, like in Davis, for at the communication lab, we share a lot of even better yet. So what is an
There
even
you
better
go.
yet
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah.
What can you do? So definitely like biggest piece of advice is have fun. It's very hard, and that's why I don't want to say like don't judge yourself, because that's very hard for you if you haven't the steps for it. But honestly, enjoy the process. If you make a mistake, as long as there's no severe grave consequence, you could fix it, and you can there most likely is a reason why you're going through that, and most likely you have to learn that lesson to be a better person or better doctor, a better friend, relationship, everything in there. So have fun with it overall. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, I tell my pre-vets the exact same thing that you just said. Everybody comes up to me, they're like, "Hey, Orly, I just failed my biochemistry exam. I just failed my OChem exam. Like, am I good enough? Am I worthy of like even getting into vet school or post vet school?" And I tell them, "Listen, you've gone through your journey. You're still in your journey. You're still in your process. Take it slow. You gotten all this way up to here. Keep going, keep fighting for it. Don't just give up because of one bad exam one day and you
Yeah.
weren't feeling well. Like, keep going."
Yeah. No, 100%.
Right.
And you never know. What if that experience of having to retake the class over the summer now got you with an amazing roommate that is now going to help you go cross country for later. You never know. You
You
never
never know.
know what's
Yeah.
in there. And it's I still remember my first, rejections and things, and it's like I remember taking it really hard, but it started getting me prepared because there are going to be a lot of rejections in life, a lot. And that's okay. The people that you see as geniuses or the people that you see as so successful, they've taken all of those like rejections and figured out a few things. One, it could be that that's not the space for you. You could have your heart set on that area, but there may be something bigger and better waiting for you, and you are the chosen one. But
There you
it
go.
just
Yeah.
be. But on top of that, what did you learn from it? Maybe what you learned from it is going to help two or three people behind you because they're also struggling with that. And now, because of that, you've now become a better leader because you have that example and you've gone through that. And then three, it builds your empathy. It actually builds your empathy of the situations that are going on, and you could actually empathize with people for the situations. Like I've had so many people that say for example, people that don't really understand depression or anxiety, like their take on it is, oh, that kind of sucks, like I've never dealt with that before, like I don't know. And then it sounds different from someone going like, oh, I've I've been there. So like, how are you doing? What are you doing to balance yourself? That's a different like piece, but I don't judge the people that don't know for it. I'm like, I applaud them. I'm like, they don't have to deal with this. This is an extra job in itself.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but for the people that don't, like, okay, now you found your clan. Now you found the person you could talk to when maybe you're feeling blue. Maybe you have someone for like code words, and these are all little pieces because like I feel like that little message is throughout everyone, pre-vet, if you're doing your master's or even a
Yeah.
post back. Like, that's another thing. It is okay if you have to do a post back. Like my old college roommate, she had to go to she went to the human side for medicine. Like I was the vet and she was the human, and she didn't. She graduated from Davis and she had to do a post back. I remember she was so heartbroken. I mean, mind you, she was like type A, type A, type A, and to know that she had to do a post back to get into medical school, like human medical school. I say that because we also have medical school, but
That's true.
they and for her it was like the best experience because not only did she get to do her post back in Philadelphia, she also got to do her medical school in I think St. George's. and and then she did her clinical year in Atlanta. Now she's back at home. You know, she stayed there, right, for good.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is she got those experiences that I'm like, dude, that's amazing for you. Like I got to visit her too, so
There you
I,
go.
you
That's a
know,
plus for you. Yeah.
it was a plus. So again, enjoy it. I know it's hard. It seems harder right now because we're so like scared and we're so want to do best. And yes, do your best. Don't fail out. Don't fill out. You know, do your best. If it is like, I remember still what class? Oh, physics 7 that you have to take in biology.
Yeah.
It made me hate physics. And because I was like, how do you teach sciences to base off of math, non-math? And I was like, I remember sitting there like, I'm just gonna make it through. This is the one class I'm just gonna make it through. Ask me about pharmacology and I love that. So that's a whole different story, but that's something I just learned. And the crazy part, it's funny because even in those classes that I didn't like, I still to this day remember things. Like I was driving the other day and remembering that the force when I'm turning my car around a curve is actually pulling me inward, even though I thought I'm being pulled outward. Like I remember that from physics, even though I
So
hated
yeah,
it,
yeah,
you
you
know?
remember some stuff, it comes back to you and
Yeah.
you
But this
just
is
move
again
on.
like it was my for me, it was my failure. My quote unquote failure. I think I had the lowest beat like ever for that one, and I didn't care because I was like, it's good enough for me, right? But it's still something that I learned, and you have to make the best of those situations because that's life. That is
Yep.
honest life, and no one ever tells you this because all you think of when you're an undergrad or pre-vet is I have to, I have to, I have to, I have to be this, I have to be this. The truth is, you don't. No, you don't. And I'm here telling you with all the experience after all like those pieces, no, you don't.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And then the question that I always ask all my guest speakers is what's a quote that you abide by and why do you abide by it? Why do you follow it so much in your day-to-day life?
One of the main quotes that I would highly recommend is the more people you inspire, the more people will inspire you. I know it sounds a little off, but it's crazy to think like the you really don't know who's looking up to you and saying if she did it, if she, he, they did it, I can do it too. And I didn't find that. Like I personally am one that always stays in my bubble and I just worry about me. And that's very easy as an undergrad or in vet
Yeah.
school to be like, I'm just focused, I'm just there. And you never know. Someone's looking at your journey and going, oh my gosh, she did that, or they did that. And I want to do that too. Or I want to use what they did and I want to do this. And that's amazing. The world needs more of this. And this is a big, big piece that you should do. Like, relish, have fun in this journey. There's so many possibilities. As you could see in my career, like, there's so many possibilities, and certain parts are still unfolding. So, the beautiful
Right.
part is when you get out, there may be more roles. Like, telemedicine right now is at a baby stage. It could be it's going to grow into and elevate into this multi-stage piece that we're seeing also evolve in the human side. Like we don't know where we're going to be, and this is a beautiful thing. Like just keep going, be positive as you can, because I know it's super hard there. I can't say we have to have a smile. Please don't always have a smile on your face. Like feel it. If you do feel like it, do it. But take care of yourself and just keep going, keep moving forward, and seriously relish in the journey.
That's a beautiful quote. That's I think a lot of people are gonna appreciate that quote and definitely tune in to watching the YouTube videos and reading the books. I think that can help a lot of people in the future. And yeah, like you mentioned, you don't even know who you're inspiring or who's inspiring you. So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna say Orly, I was like you. I was talking to a friend. I was just like, oh my gosh, Orly with her podcast. I was like, I know that you are doing. I think it's a lot of hard work. I commend you on it because it is a lot of hard work, and that's amazing for you to do. So I mean, like that inspired me. I want to start my own.
There you go. And go for it. Why not? It's a really great opportunity. And again, you're inspiring so many other people, by sharing your knowledge and everything you learned from your past. And that's really great. That's the main goal here.
And I thought I'd
And
say too,
yeah.
if anyone ever needs like to reach out, like I'm definitely always reachable. I Orly has my contact. If
Yeah.
not on Instagram, I also respond really quickly. Um, I
Do you
can
mind
share.
sharing your
Yeah, I'm
Instagram
sorry.
right now?
Yeah,
What's your
yeah,
Instagram
you can
name?
share it. It's I'm trying to remember because Yeah, it's Jovi underscore Radillo. Um, oh, sorry, Jovi Radillo underscore DVM underscore MPPA. It's long, but I'm totally fine. Like, if you guys want to message me on there, you have questions. The cool part is I love connecting people. So if you have an idea and I know someone, I love connecting you because again, you never know when that conversation or that network is going to take you. Like, I didn't even realize, like, I'll give an example that like I have my own S corp now, like I'm basically my own entity, right? And the cool part is, like, I wouldn't have thought that, but like my sorority sister who does it, like I was like connected by another sorority sister to her that helped me. Like, my sorority sister actually has a business helping women build their S corps and be, prominent in business that way. And so it's amazing, like you don't know who's going to connect you and where you're going to
Right.
end up. Definitely, I'm glad to share any connections I have if you have an idea, or if you like really want to think of a good person to talk to you about an opportunity in vet med or science or even in leadership. Like, reach out. I'm more than glad to connect you with people I know, or connect you with someone that will get you. Like, if I don't know the answer, we'll try to find someone that does know the answer to help you out. So that's what we're here for. Please know you are not alone. And you could always reach out to, there's a lot of us that want to help all of you out. So just ask.
Yes. Thank you so much for being on the show today, sharing your insightful knowledge with us. And for the audience, keep watching, keep listening, and see you next time on Vet Inspo Talks. Bye.
Bye.